Whoa, that's me. I'm holding it, but you can hold it if you want.
All right, I'll hold it. He said to give it back.
Jake, how are you feeling ahead of a rematch on Saturday?
I'm feeling great. Best I've ever felt going into a fight. Best camp, flawless. Everything's on point. I know fighters say that a lot, but for real this time it's something different, 100%.
You've spoken openly about wanting to stop Tyron. How confident are you with the preparations you've had this time around? That will be the case, you will stop him?
I'm 110% confident. I think it happens inside of 5 rounds. You know, last fight it was easy to tee off on him, but for some reason I stopped punching after my combination. So this time you'll see me keep punching it. That's going to get him out of there.
Jake, I've got to ask, obviously, because I'm from the UK, Tommy Fury pulling out of the fight. What was your initial reaction to that?
I wasn't really surprised, you know, ever since he pulled out of the press conference and hadn't been posting on social media, I felt like he didn't really want the fight. So, you know, wasn't really surprised. And it's funny, like, he's the professional boxer and I'm the YouTuber Disney, but I'm here getting the job done. So he's a joke.
John and Tyson's comments.
Tyron's definitely a harder fight than Tommy Fury. Way more experience. Tommy Fury's never been past 4 rounds. Tyron Woodley's been in there with killers, absolute monsters. He's more experienced, he's stronger, he's faster. So Tyron's definitely a harder fight, but I already handled him light work the first time. I've gotten even better, sparred 200 rounds since the last fight, and you're gonna see a different version of me.
Hey Jake,
yeah, that's what people don't realize is that I took this fight on 2 weeks' notice as well. I had to switch up everything. Going from sparring tall guys who are boxers to sparring against shorter MMA fighters. So I only really had 2 weeks to prepare and change the game plan for Tyron. But again, I already beat him. We got the game plan, and it's just time to go to work on set.
I see the fact that you gave Nate Diaz this stable name to fight on his card.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of shit talk going back and forth, and I would love to make that fight happen if it's even possible. I know he's in the UFC, so whatever happens, it will happen. But that's a massive fight, and I think the people need to see the one. I gotta get through Tyron, maybe Tommy, who knows? Maybe Nate Diaz, maybe Conor McGregor. The road path is massive right now.
Is a win enough here, Jake?
I have not seen Nate. I have not seen him. I don't know where he's at, but I'm sure there'll be some shit talk to be said once we cross paths for sure. I mean, we'll see.
Hey Jake, for every great fighter, every camp, they always add something special to their arsenal. What would you say about this camp that you added to your arsenal in training?
Man, you know, I'm only 4 fights in. This will be my 5th fight, so I'm getting exponentially better. We have to work on everything. You know, offense, defense, combinations, maneuvering, foot movement, head position, everything. So we've really tightened up the loose bolts on all corners. You'll see a lot sharper version of me.
Specifically for this fight coming up, what have you learned from the first fight? What do you think will help you in the next fight?
I mean, that was my first time even getting hit by a 10-ounce glove. That was my first time going past 2 rounds. None of my previous opponents had even hit me in a professional boxing match. So just that experience, just, you know, getting buzzed a little bit in the 4th round and working through that, coming back and winning all the rest of the rounds. Being in there with a monster in front of 17,000 people, it's a lot to go through in your 4th fight. And like I said, no one in the history of the sport has been fighting 8-round fights in their 3rd fight, in their 4th fight, and in their 5th fight. So that was my first time going 8 rounds into the lights. I proved I could do it, but I know I have a lot of room to improve, and that's what I did this camp. I had a chip on my shoulder. I was pissed off with my performance. Came back, and now I get the chance to right my wrongs.
Jake, you say you think the pressure's on you and you're kind of thriving on that, but a lot of people, especially in the MMA space, feel like the pressure is all on Tyron here because he needs to win this fight. Why do you feel there's more pressure on you than him?
Just because he already lost. So, you know, when you do something, it starts to become a habit. When you're a loser, it becomes a habit. That's been the case so far for Tyron. So what does he have here? What career does he have ahead of him? I'm 24 years old. I could take over the world. I could become the next Muhammad Ali at the rate this is going. So what does he have? He has nothing. I have a much bigger story here, a much greater presence, and I'm doing something that no one's ever done before. For him to win, it doesn't help the sport, it doesn't help the world, and no one will really care.
Is a win enough, or do you have to stop it?
I have to stop him in my books. I have to stop him. I have to prove that I got better. The only way to do that is get the TKO. And I'm not going to leave it up to the judges. You know, last time, the last judge, the one who scored it from Woodley, who knows what fight he was looking at. You know, he needs to see an eye doctor, but I'm not leaving it up to the judges this time. The perception has changed immensely, and rightfully so. You know, when I came into this, I had a lot to prove. People didn't understand me, they didn't understand my movement. They thought I was just making a mockery of the sport. And now people really see what I'm doing. They respect me, they respect my work, they respect the business side of it. You know, they respect how I'm advocating for fighter pay, they respect what I'm doing for women's boxing, they respect my foundation, my charity, you know, to get more kids into boxing. So really, it takes time for people to see that, and that's what's happened here, and I'm only going to continue to do great things.
Why the initiative to promote boxing?
Man, they have been so taken advantage of the whole entire time in this sport, underpaid, and when I met Amanda Serrano, I was sort of touched by her story. First and foremost, we hit it off, and she was telling me how she was getting paid $20,000, $30,000, but she's quite literally one of the greatest fighters of all time. And to me, it didn't make any sense. And so when I started talking to her about it, I became passionate as someone who could help make the change. And that's exactly what we're doing with Amanda, getting her, you know, 7-figure payday to fight Katie Taylor. Obviously, she has to get through this weekend, but she's a superstar. She deserves a bigger platform, and so do all women in the sport.
That's it, guys. Thank you.